profit-taking activities by investors will continue into the new month as the all-share index performance continues to moderate around 2.6% year-to-date. Analysts say they expect some investors to increase their positions on selected stocks with attractive prices, positioning ahead of a likely market rebound. Muktar Mohammed, analyst at Assar Investment, joins me for this discussion. Muktar, thank you for joining us. Always a pleasure to have you on the show. But let's get right into it. It's a new trading month for the market. Year-to-date, still hovering at around 2%. Talk to us about how especially institutional investors will be rebalancing their portfolios, what they'll be buying and what they'll be letting go of.
Thank you, Esther. Unfortunately, we don't have those big institutional investors that are really coming into the market. What we have are short-term institutional investors, and some of these institutional investors are the pension fund administrators, and they are being very cautious. But if you ask those that are still there, those that still believe in the market at the moment, most of them are buying into those liquid stocks, those stocks with high liquidity, those stocks that are going to pay good dividend, those stocks that the third quarter result have been fantastic. And some of those stocks are stocks like the banking sector, the tier one banks. They came out with an impressive result, especially Zenith Bank. We also see people seeing attractive entry point in GTCO because of the holding company structure and the re-strategizing of the company. Also, where people are seeing a tier two bank that has performed critically well. And again, the results of that bank also was the market reaction to the result was very commendable. That is Fidelity Bank and PLC. So definitely in the banking sector, that's where people are looking at. And also they're looking at the brewery sector because of the attractive price nature and the good result that we've seen, even if those results, some of them did not meet investor sentiment comparable to what they've been performing before. And not to forget that the banking sector also have seen some very, very fantastic results outside Zenith Bank. We had a very good recovery from FBN holding also. So definitely there are good stocks in the conglomerate sector. People are still looking at Dangote Sugar is still doing very well. The result was good. And also MTN also came out with a very good result. So there are a lot of places that investors are looking at, but most of them are actually looking in the side of the bank and the telecom sector because of the liquidity of the liquid nature of those stocks.
Right. Now, apart from the elections, what other market-moving events will investors be keeping an eye on? Perhaps the Naira? A lot has been going on at the FX market.
I think you said it all, the Naira. Then they want to see how the physical side is doing because we've seen a lot of work by the monetary policy, but we've not seen anything from the physical side. If you ask me what is the trigger that the market needs, I think the market is waiting for a trigger from the physical side. What would they be doing differently, especially in an election year that we all know that governance take the backseat. So for the monetary policy, I think they've done all the thing they should do, and they are even doing more, and especially with the redesigning of the currency, which to me is more of a security and trying to deal with security challenges, inflation, and also looking at way to fight the volatility of the exchange rate, knowing fully well that most of the Naira that are chasing the dollar that is making the price to go this high are not Naira that are in the banking space. So definitely, I think they are looking at that, and those are the type of policy that we tend to see that will be a game changer for the market. But as it stands now, we are not seeing that yet. Like I always say, the short term, we might not see that, but in the long term, we might begin to see those results, depending on the strategy of the CBN and what their response are.
Speaking of seeing, with just 1 month left for the market to wrap up the year, just cast your mind back to the forecasts that were made for this market in January this year. How have those forecasts, your forecast, how has that played out so far?
Well, in terms of dividend payout, I think it has played out well, but in terms of capital appreciation, it has not really been what we expect. We expect some of these stocks started on a high at the beginning of the year, but some of them are falling as low as their 52 weeks low, and some of them are even sending an all-time low. So definitely those forecasts has not been that as promising or as lucrative as we expected them to be. It just in the month between the month of October and November, we've seen it from a height of the Ocean Index from a height of almost 15% to just 2%. definitely tells you that there's a lot of things that are happening in the market that are not too pleasant to investors, and especially the microeconomy instability that we have, especially in the area of fiscal policy. Then again, you mustn't forget the Russia-Ukraine crisis after coming out from COVID-19. So definitely people are looking at the market, and you cannot separate the market from the economy. And perception is what drives the market. And the major thing that have really affected the market this year has been the exchange rate volatility. It has been one of those rates that we've not found a solution to it this far, because you could say in the import-export window, we are seeing market factor determine the price, but the difference between that and the parallel market is getting wider by the day, and that's why you are not seeing the foreign investors come in.
Now, going into the new month, what stocks are on your radar and why?
Well, I still look at the banking stock. I still look at Zenith Bank because of the liquid nature of those stock. Good price also. Sterling still low, and then you look at the PE ratio is still low, one of the lowest in the banking sector and one of the most profitable. Have increased their earning per share also. Those will definitely mean that the worst that could happen, they will still pay the same dividend that they paid before. Also, you look at UBA also coming from recovery, seeing those recovery, especially from their offshore branches. So you look at that. Access Bank is good, but again, it's still a stock that investors are still a little bit wary of because of the second quarter half-year result, not able to pay their normal 30 kobo for the first time after a very long time. And the bank never came out to say a reason why they did that. But going forward, they could be a good, but when looking at the short term, Guinness Nigerian PLC is still good because of the price. Like I said, also, Nigerian Brewery is also good, attractive point, especially if you are entering now. Remember that same company have just declared a ₦1 interim dividend for investors. Also, you look at the conglomerate sector, you must not take your eyes off Dangote Cement. It's also a very good buy, especially with its expansion around Africa. Boa Cement also is doing very, very well, and Boa Foods also. So for me, those are the key drivers that I see in the market that will tend to move the market forward this quarter. That's what I think will happen, especially because
Right,
some of
Muktar,
these
thank you
stocks
so
are
much
going
for
to be
sharing that
paid
with us. We
dividends.
appreciate your time as always. Muktar
Thank you,
Mohammed,
Esther.
analyst at Assar Investment. So